I'm sick of that shit. I'm not backing up from that anymore. I'm not taking it from people anymore. I'm not just a black man, I'm a brother. I want to get into a conversation about me because of how some folks have been attacking me. Not over this, but using this as an excuse to accuse me of hating on the brothers. I'm sick of that shit. I'm not backing up from that anymore. I'm not taking it from people anymore. I'm not just a black man, I'm a brother. I'm not going to take this from people anymore.
What's going on, everybody? It's Rick One Ball. Do me a favor and like the video as we approach 40,000 subscribers. Air Jordan giveaway coming soon. Check my community post for all the details. Now, we got to get into this. Stephen A. Smith, I'm looking at you differently. Ever since an ESPN producer said Stephen A.'s role on the show is to be the angry black man. And it all makes sense. If this is true, Stephen A. Smith has a tendency to overtalk everybody who enters the damn show. It doesn't matter if your opinion is correct or you're speaking facts. Stephen A. Smith will turn up the volume and get more and more disrespectful. And this is what the producer hinted at. He said the network, ESPN and Disney, know that this is his value, hence on why he signed a $100 million contract to spark controversy and be a rage baiter.
Unless you're an athlete or an artist, you don't expect to be able to sign for, that kind of money. And so, it's like I'm very blessed. I'm very fortunate. I can sit up here and talk some shit, but I earned it. I earned it in terms of the work that I put in, the hours, how hard I work. But that don't mean you gonna end up getting some shit like that. And then I'm monitoring who getting the money. And then I'm monitoring how is it relatable to what I do. And then I'm saying, well, wait a minute now. That person got that money. That person got that money. How you gonna justify? So, if you ESPN and you in the news because you signed one of my colleagues to 5 years, 85 million, and another cat got 20 million a year, and then you look at Fox and Brady got 375. You like, where do I fit in? And I'm looking at it from that standpoint, and I'm like, all right, this is my worth based on my ratings, the revenue that I know the show is generating, kind of knowing my business and stuff, because in 2009, when I got fired and got let go, I was a dumbass.
And this is not just a Stephen A. thing. I think this is about all black men when it comes down to being conscious about displaying anger, especially in the public eye. Knowing if you finally do display that anger in the public, it's going to be looked upon as like, see, he was so mad, he was so angry already. So if this report is true and this producer is correct by saying that that's his role on the show is to spark controversy and to be a rage baiter and to make people, be upset with him, it's just ridiculous. And that's his true perceived value. You see, it was always something fishy about this particular $100 million contract. The reason why it took so long for him to get this $100 million when Pat McAfee got what he got and Tom Brady got $365 million with his dry personality, I don't even know how they're going to make that show entertaining at all. So it had to be an extra little component for Stephen A. to get that type of money. You got to understand, he got fired in 2009. He kind of reinvented himself and came back full-fledged. And to his credit, he was able to get this type of contract. Now, I'm about to play you this clip from ESPN producer Ryan Bertrand, who's essentially saying that Stephen A. Smith is nothing more than a puppet.
This one guy, his name is Stephen A. Smith. He plays the angry black man on TV. The angry black man stereotype is basically you're loud, you talk over people. What you say is not necessarily important. It's more how loud you are and how you deliver your speech. He does that pretty well. I think the higher-ups at ESPN and Disney see that. He's like this angry black man. He goes on Fox News probably like once a week. And he'll talk about like Gaza. And he has no idea about Gaza. Talking about like his views on Gaza. And we're like, brother, you were just talking about the Lakers like 3 hours ago. Like, what do you know about Gaza? Stephen A. had been talking about LeBron's son for like a while. LeBron like confronted him at a game one time, and then ever since that, Stephen A's been on like 4 different podcasts, basically like, I thought it was a weak move, like coming up to me and whatnot. It's just this whole like embarrassing thing that we're all like rolling our eyes at. They just think he's crazy, just trying to create attention, which is his job, I guess. He gets paid a lot of money to do that. So.
To do what?
To like create chaos, to create like controversy, like an argument. That's like his job, basically.
So he's like an usher?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Very much whoever's buying my
shit, I will sell you my book. Which it's like boxing
Wow.
sometimes.
And I definitely believe this has the potential to go viral just because the guy is a producer and he's making these claims. Now, there's no question to me why these claims are coming up. And a lot of people wouldn't care. But who's bringing these things up is people who's jealous of him getting that $100 million contract. Usually when you sign for that much money, all the naysayers come out. Anything that you did in your past. I mean, look at presidential debates and elections. When they start getting all this money and revenue and donations coming in, all they're doing is tearing each other down on commercials, during debates. I mean, you name it. And it's absolutely crazy to me how Stephen A. Smith went out there and got another African-American male who's way more physically imposing than Stephen A. Smith, who slams the desk, who yells and everything like that and displays this anger. And that's just feeding into the network's hands. They want this clearly, according to what the producer is saying. And even eventually, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe had to address an article that was written about them, saying that they're just bringing tension and they sparking up controversy.
Oh, the Shannon and Stephen A. is calling tension. I'm like, what kind of tension? The only people that's ever heard my voice on the phone, B.I., Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, Jimmy Pitaro, basically number 2, him and Burke Magnus, and Dave Roberts. I've been to New York 5 times in the studio. Ash has been with me every time. Jordan's been with me every time. I walk in there, I nod, I speak, I get my clothes out the closet, go into the green, go into our room, I get dressed, I go to the show, I do the show, I go home. They came to, how many times did they come to LA, Ash? 2, 3? Yeah, a lot of times, most of the time when I'm doing the show, Ocho, I'm doing it just like this. I'm in the box.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, I've never been on a call. I've never been on a call. When they're discussing topics, Shannon Sharpe has never been on a call.
You see what I'm saying? This is absolutely ridiculous. And Shannon comes in there highly decorated. NFL Hall of Famer, successful podcast, and a nightcap show. So what you don't understand is that even though Stephen A. Smith gets credit for bringing Shannon Sharpe into ESPN, that just played right into the network's hands. They wanted this man that's physically imposing way more than Stephen A. Smith to display these big high levels of anger to make, I don't know what the agenda is. I don't know. All I know is he was awarded a $100 million contract based off of what he got the networks, the ratings and everything like he said. But it's a deeper issue here. And I just think that it needed to be addressed. I wanted to talk to you guys and highlight that simple thing that it just needs to be more of a concerted effort to shed these tags and not just play right into the stigma or the hands of the networks. I mean, I just think these guys should calm down a little bit, really articulate themselves, work on articulating themselves. Skip Bayless, I mean not Skip Bayless, but Stephen A. Smith has made a career of this. He's made a career of this. So I think he's pretty much too far gone. Shannon is kind of new to the social media space, the broadcasting TV space, in a successful way, that is. He did a little bit with CBS, but he ended up getting fired in a successful way now. So he needs to just focus on maybe articulating himself in a way that's more calm and stop playing into the network's hands. Let me know what you guys think about this. You already know who it is, Rick One Ball.